Well, welcome, ladies. This is our first ever She's Unstoppable Now expert time together. This is once a month. You're going to have access to one of our awesome experts. And today is my friend Loida Velasquez, and she has about 100,000, a little bit more than 100,000 followers in her social media. So she knows what she's doing. And I'll say you're a social media maven. So the way the format is we're very, low key in terms of structure, because I don't like structure. And as busy real estate agents, we just want to get to it. So Loida has about 30 minutes to do whatever she wants, and then to have questions from you guys. So this is your time to have access to her. If you're watching on the recording, I encourage you to mark out the second Thursday of every month when we'll be bringing one of our experts in this manner. Eventually, we will be streaming it from Zoom into our Facebook group. But I admit I didn't have time to figure that out. And I know it's easy, but I didn't have time to figure it out. So without further ado, Loida, take it away.
Awesome. Thank you, Jan. I'm really excited about being the first one and being able to talk about social media. So just to give you a little background in terms of what I've been doing with social media, when I got into real estate about 5 years ago, that's when I pretty much started on YouTube. And I started putting out videos where I was sharing pretty much my journey and my story and everything that I was learning. So my very first platform that I was very active on was YouTube. So I was posting consistently every single week. I didn't have a set day or a time. I just knew that I wanted to put out a video, and then over time it would start getting traction and people would be watching my videos, sharing it with somebody else. And that's pretty much how I started to build my social media presence. So it started with video. So as I was doing my YouTube videos, I would make sure to put my Instagram handle on the intro, just so that if people wanted to find me, they can go and look me up, or if they wanted to also follow me on Instagram, now they can know exactly where to find me. So eventually, over time, throughout the years, that's how I started to build both of those platforms. So first YouTube, then those people translated over to Instagram. And at the same time, I have found that because of YouTube, they just pretty much have gone and Googled me and found me anywhere, because the way that YouTube works is just the same way as Google. So it's pretty much a search engine. So people can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and slowly that's how all of those social media platforms have grown. So it was all about posting consistently. So one of the first things that I do want to talk about is the power of video. I think especially nowadays, even when the pandemic and the stay-at-home orders started to kick in, I even told myself I want to increase my social media presence. And I'm already on YouTube, but now what else can I do? So I started to incorporate going live on Instagram, because now that was a way for me to engage with my followers so that they see that I'm active, they can ask me questions, and I'm a real person, that what they see on YouTube is the same as how I am in real life. So engaging in video, that would be a great way to start. Now, I know that may seem a little scary if you haven't done video, or if you feel that, oh, everyone's doing video, I'm like already left behind. It's never too late. And even now more than ever, everyone's on their phone, because they're probably at home, they're probably on YouTube, they're scrolling through Instagram or Facebook, or just catching up on whatever it is, whether it's what's going on in the world or what their friends and family are doing. So a great thing that I would suggest for anyone to kind of get started in video is doing stories. So Instagram has a feature for stories, and so does Facebook. Now, the great thing about both of those platforms is that you can record a video on your cell phone, and this is something that I have done in the past. So create a video and then repurpose it and post it everywhere that it is that you want. So you can post it on Instagram and Facebook, and you don't have to constantly be filming a video. And let's say the first one, you don't like it. Now you can record as many until you feel comfortable that it's something that you like to post. Mm-hmm. So that is a great way for you to get started on that. They're usually 15 seconds. It doesn't have to be that long. But I know for me, that's kind of, I have always done video on YouTube, but I had never really branched out to other platforms until maybe like the past 2 years. For some reason, even though I have over 55,000 subscribers, it kind of almost still intimidated me going live or posting stories. But those 15-second video stories really kind of put me out of my comfort zone. And I knew that was the beginning to put myself out there to start connecting with other people. Mm-hmm. And because I have been doing that, it has translated to people always seeing my face and seeing that I'm active. They know that I'm a real estate agent. And over time, it has allowed me to even get referrals, whether it's my friends or family or even other agents that have been following me throughout this time. Yeah.
Love it. Love it. Love it. That is so good. I'm impressed that you shared, and I love that you were nervous to go live on Instagram at first, because you have, did you ever add up how many videos have you done? Over 100 on YouTube?
I think it's 180.
So you've done 180 videos on YouTube, and yet you're still nervous to go live. So that gives everybody hope.
Yeah, I remember I posted my very first live for sale by owner call on YouTube. And back then, when I started making videos, I thought to myself, well, no one's going to watch it, so might as well put it out there. And then over time, I saw that a lot of people were relating to my videos. The content that I put out is mostly for real estate agents. And I remember when I started putting those type of videos out, I wasn't finding a lot of agents, especially women, putting out videos with their stories. So when I put that for sale by owner call on my YouTube channel, it was kind of like, I knew I was horrible. I didn't know my scripts. It was a horrible call. I could have done so many different objection handlers, but I put it out there. And then over time, it just started to get so many views. I think right now it has like over 150,000 views, and everyone's always watching that. But I knew that if somebody would watch my video, they would probably learn something from it. And then they could see what the reality of making cold calls in this business is like.
I think that's amazing, because I remember watching it back when I was an agent, and I'm like, this chick is brave, because I mean, you were just making a phone call. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah. And then over time with doing videos, some of the things that do happen is that you do get comments from people that have nothing better else to do than leave something negative. So especially in that video, I've gotten so many comments like, oh, you're horrible. Like, why do you even cold call? And then now I just laugh, but I feel that along with putting yourself out there, you have to be open to the fact that there will be other people that are not going to relate to you, or maybe they don't see the value in what you're doing. And you need to just be able to tune them out. And the way that I saw that type of comments, and whether it's positive or negative, is that at the end of the day, my content is helping someone else. Right. And it's going to help them improve and become a better agent in their business. And over time, I mean, this person that left the negative comment, little do they know that I still kept on being consistent. Yep. It didn't stop me from creating videos. And now it's gone to the point that I have the following that I have. I'm still putting out videos and empowering other agents and giving them value. Yep. And I would much rather focus on those that appreciate what I'm doing versus those that are kind of just like haters, like, why are you doing that? You're horrible. Like, don't be an agent type of thing.
And I think with women, Loida, like I have one client who is gorgeous. And so she went ahead, she said she had a glass of wine, because I was like, you've got to do video. Now I don't want any more excuses before next call. So she got a glass of wine. She felt good. I loved the video. One of her guy friends said, what the F are you doing? Mm-hmm. So she texted me that night, and she said, I actually thought it was pretty good. That's her talking to me. And she said, I actually took it down because she took a picture where he said, what the F are you doing? And I said, then just delete the comment. Yeah. So can you just speak to that? Like, do you ever delete comments? Like if somebody's really mean, or do you block people, or can you talk to us about that?
Yeah, what I do is that I delete the comments. sometimes we get that urge of wanting to respond and just kind of like that knee-jerk response, but at the same time, I read the comment, and then I make sure to make a wise judgment on it. So yeah, I'll delete it, because I don't want to start feeding into that negativity or give my time to that person. They don't deserve any more of my time. So it's more like, you know what, I read it, I'm going to delete it. And then I've gone where some people are like, why did you delete the comments and all this other stuff? And I tell them, well, this is my platform. If you want to go and leave comments, go and create your own videos.
That's right.
Or they try to give me feedback on my videos. And then it's like, okay, well, where are your cold calling videos?
Exactly.
I don't see it. So I'm not going to take any advice from someone that's not at the level that I'm looking for.
That's right.
I think many times a lot of people fall into the trap of listening to the opinions of others that are not they're not people that you need to be taking advice from.
That's right.
For example, like you can't be taking financial advice from someone that doesn't have a job. Right. Or that, no, I'd rather be taking advice from someone that's making millions, multiple businesses, because they know what they're doing. And if they tell me something that's going to help me, it's probably because they've gone through it and they're correct. And that's the same way they have to see video. So for example, that agent that you were talking about, first of all, who was this man that gave her that opinion?
It was a guy from high school, and she's in her early 30s, and she's doing great.
Yeah. No, if anything, I would, yeah, just like what you told her, delete the comment, just leave it on there, because now it's like you're letting that other person win. And
right, because it was only on, like, this guy was responded in the first 5 minutes. And so I said, let's look at the video. Mm-hmm. I said, such and such, I'm so impressed. Please put that video back up. Yeah. And she said, no, I'm going to do another one. And she did another one, and that guy commented again, and she blocked him. So he just, some people are jealous. I know sometimes when I go live, because we're talking about social media, mm-hmm. Sometimes people will give angry faces. And what the heck am I doing? I'm like trying to help people. And I'm just like, okay, who's giving me a frowny face? But now I try not to say that, because it's like, because you don't know who that is when you're going live. Mm-hmm. But anyway, yeah, so I don't want to talk. I want you to talk, because you're the one that knows the social media. So let me ask you this real quick. So you said you really started on YouTube. Mm-hmm. So did you have foresight that video was important, or why did you choose YouTube? And then right now, is Instagram your go-to in terms of like Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn? And do you focus on one, or like talk to us about your strategy, your social media strategy?
So when I did start making videos on YouTube, I saw that video was kind of getting a little bit bigger, and eventually it would head that way. Mm-hmm. So I knew that there was a potential, and I should start putting myself out there on video. So like I mentioned, when I started growing the YouTube, Instagram grew. Right now, the main two that I focus on are YouTube and Instagram. Mm-hmm. Just because those are the two platforms that I have the most people. So I want to continue to stay engaged. And in those two platforms is where I have seen the most results in terms of getting business, referral business. So I like to stay on top of everyone that follows me through the stories and through the post. And along with that, just always commenting and responding. With YouTube, after you hit a certain amount of subscribers, I can't remember what it is, it gives you this feature where you're also able to upload stories onto YouTube. So I have been doing that very often as well. So initially I didn't really see the point of it, but I remember doing it once and it got over 4,000 views, because you can also see how many people are looking at that, and you can tag your city. So I knew, okay, there's probably people that have no idea who I am, or they're probably not my subscribers, but I'm popping up on their YouTube, and they're going to see me. They're going to see that I'm a real estate agent, and now they might be curious as to what type of content I put out, and it'll put me on top of their mind for any real estate needs.
Okay, so I have 2 questions. How much time do you put aside commenting and engaging with your audience? And then the second one is, do you actively subscribe to others as a part of your strategy to get people to find you now on Instagram?
Yeah, so in terms of how much time I spent for YouTube on the weekends, I'll set that time aside Saturday and Sunday to film. So one of the great things that I would suggest for anyone doing video is to batch content. So pick a day, pick a time frame, and have a list of maybe 2 or 3 videos that you want to film. That way you get them out of the way on the same day, instead of every day just trying to think of something to film, and then it just takes too much time. So that's what I do for YouTube. Now for Instagram and just responding to comments and all of that, I usually spend maybe in the evenings about 20 to 30 minutes just going through all of that and engaging with the people.
Mm-hmm.
And the other question you asked?
Oh, I'm sorry. You said that you get referral business. So I know that Karen Carr, who has a YouTube course, YouTube for real estate agents, she got, like, her husband was in the military, she moved, and she just started making videos about her town. And she would always have the town in there. So can you talk to us about, and then she got all her business from there. And now she just focuses on, coaching on YouTube, I guess, I don't know. But can you talk to us about how to tag your city? Because you said tag the city. And I know you talked specifically about the lives that you're able to do, but probably most people don't have enough subscribers on YouTube to do that. Yeah. And how you tag yourself and get leads from this, like how a realtor could do that.
Yeah, so for example, on Instagram, every single post that I do a hashtag of the cities, or out here I do LA County, Orange County, Inland Empire, because those are the most popular ones. So anyone that does see my posts, even if they're not from here or they're not from a specific area, when they see those hashtags, they'll automatically think, okay, she works this city, which is in the certain county that I tagged. Mm-hmm. So along with the hashtags, I do also tag a city where you can put a place on Instagram. And then when I was talking about earlier on YouTube, is that it's almost pretty much the same way as Instagram, where you can go on the search bar and look for a place and then put in your city, and then it tags it on there as well. So that's what I have been doing. And the way that I have gotten referral business, most of the referrals that I do get are from other agents, since that's the audience that I have created my platform with. So many of them are not from California. And whether they have a buyer or a seller out here that's trying to do something, or whether it's California related, they always think of me because I have branded myself as that Southern California agent.
Yes, that's awesome. That's amazing. Okay, so let me go to the gallery view. So ladies, do you have any questions for Loida? And I have to say, Loida, you are graceful, and like the words I think of when I see you is beautiful, graceful, kind, and you have a heart of gold. And I just want to applaud you for that, because you got known for being grace-filled and graceful and thoughtful and things. And there's so many people that have your number of followers that are just like, I don't know, not classy. Like, I just think the world of you. And so that's why she's our social media guru. So I just had to say that.
Oh, thank you, Jan. I really appreciate it. And I'm glad that you described me that way, because that's exactly how I would want to be known. And, even though I have this platform that has grown on YouTube, on Facebook, and Instagram, my goal wasn't like, oh, I want to be a social media influencer and get all these followers. For me, it was more, I want to provide value. And it just so happened that I grew a following. But my priority has always still been real estate and generating leads and being in the trenches, not so much what am I going to do to get a following and what ads am I going to do and should I pay for leads or anything like that. So I really appreciate it.
Yes, that comes through. So anybody have questions for Loida? This is your access to an amazing lady that knows her stuff.
I'll start.
Hi.
Dan.
Hey.
I'm sitting on my porch. This is why I'm wearing my mask. The pollen is so intense
Ah.
that you can't, I'll sit here and sneeze my head off. So thanks to Jan, I have been doing videos and also really exploring I call them the 4 social platforms. So Instagram, which I'm beginning to get more comfortable with, Facebook, both of those are business pages, LinkedIn, and what's the 4th one?
Facebook, Instagram, YouTube.
YouTube. Okay, so I'm wondering, because I decided for the first time, and I've been on LinkedIn forever, and I have a large list of contacts because I was in a corporate world before doing real estate, but I had never really sort of tapped into that, and I have now started segmenting. And I'd love your opinion. Like on Instagram, I'm trying to be the mayor of Martha's Vineyard because that's where I live. So I'm posting things about Martha's Vineyard that either people that live here might find interesting, people that would like to be here might find interesting. So that's sort of my strategy with Instagram. With Facebook and in LinkedIn, I'm focused specifically on providing content related to real estate. And, not personal, not, I have a personal Facebook page. I mean, really trying to just, keeping current matters, posting those up there, etc. Any other ideas?
So for your Instagram, are you doing posts? Are you doing video? Or what's your strategy there?
So far, I'm getting a new phone, hopefully delivered. So I've been just doing posts on my feed. I've done a couple of videos. I've mentioned some of, like if I'm in Edgertown and their Vineyard Vines is right across from our office, I'll mention Vineyard Vines, I mentioned to them or to some other businesses. I don't mind doing video. It's just, I was much more comfortable doing video on Facebook. Don't ask me why. I cannot tell you.
Okay.
No problem doing video on Facebook. I think I'm still learning Instagram.
Okay. Have you posted any stories before? Or are you posting the videos on your actual feed?
I did a video in a carousel. So it was a picture, a video, and another picture, but that's the only one I've done.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I would definitely say start incorporating more video.
Mm-hmm.
There are some apps that are free that I recently started to look into where you can even create a short video, upload it to this app, and then it'll put the words like a transcript. So if somebody doesn't want to put their volume up, they can just watch you and read along. And I think that is perfect as well. So that could go on your Instagram feed and also on your story, the same thing.
Okay, great. Thank you.
What's that called?
I'll tell you right now. Let me see. It's called Mixed Captions.
MIX captions?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Thanks.
Yeah, so that's perfect for like the short Instagram stories that are 15 seconds. If you're saying something very quickly, it'll automatically put a transcript and you can go in and edit it in case they misspelled a word or it was the wrong word and then upload it.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't do anything out of fear, or don't do something out of fear. Just say no to fear. Because I know that, Janet, you're doing video on Facebook and it's the same on Instagram. There's nothing to be afraid of, really.
Yeah.
Who else? Who's next with a social media question?
Let's see. Oh.
Kim, Barb, Holly. The app is called Mixed Captions. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No, that's fine. Question. So do you only go live now on YouTube? I know you said like to, repurpose the videos and that sort of thing. But is that your main live platform is YouTube?
Right now, my main live one is Instagram. And what I recently created as of, I think, May, is that I created on Wednesday a Wonder Woman Wednesday series. So now everyone that follows me knows that every Wednesday I will be going live. And that's something that you can create, whether it's you by yourself going live or you interviewing somebody else, whether it's 10 or 15 minutes or whatever it is. But I think probably setting a day and a time that you do something live to kind of program people to know that you're going to be going live, that would be a great way to start to get the most amount of engagement and people tuning in.
Do you get more, do you think there's more engagement on Facebook or Instagram? Or does it depend on who you're actually trying to have as your ideal client?
Yeah, I think it depends. From what I've seen, my audiences are different in Instagram versus Facebook in terms of like the demographic. So on Instagram, I do get a lot of engagement depending also on the time. But yeah, for me personally, it would be Instagram.
Susan has a question. She's
I'm getting ready, so I don't have my I'm getting ready to go do the inspection stuff, so I don't have my camera on because I don't look very good. Anyway, I know. So my question is this: I came in about after 4 minutes, so I kind of missed the tip top of this. But I wondered. My problem is I think, okay, when I determine what I'm going to do, if it's going to be a real estate, video like weekly on real estate tips for just everybody, and then maybe another one for just the senior population, seniors and boomers, a little bit more specifically focused. My question is how do you determine the topics? Do you write them all down ahead of time so you're not sitting there going, oh, what am I going to do? What am I going to say? And the second thing is, where do you source your content from?
Okay. Yes. So the first question, yes, I do on a day just sit down and write down all of my video ideas or topics that I want to talk about. And for you specifically, what I would do is that pick a day, maybe during the week, where you focus on the boomers and the senior community, and a different day or the other days where it's just like your general content.
okay. Love that.
That's helpful.
That's something that I'm going to start incorporating as well, because most of my audience are real estate agents. But I have noticed recently I have been getting just random people messaging me on Instagram like, hey, I'm just a consumer and I saw your YouTube videos, but I'm looking to buy. So once I started to see a lot more of that happening, I thought to myself, okay, even though most of my content is for real estate agents, I want to maybe set a day during the week where it's just going to be real estate information for consumers, whether it's buyers or sellers. That way I'm targeting everyone, and they know on certain days, okay, I'm going to look out specifically on Saturdays because Loida's going to give me tips for me, not for agents.
I love that.
Okay, and how long exactly are your live videos that you do? How long do you do them?
The ones that I have been doing, they have been like 25 or 30 minutes long, but that might be too long for you. So I would just say, even if it's just like 10 or 15 minutes, that's like perfect enough to give value and not too short for people to be like, wait, that was it.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you.
And it's really trial and error. So when you're an entrepreneur, you just try it and see what works.
I have another question.
Sure.
My question is, how long does it take to build a following? I guess you have two questions. What benchmark numbers should we be looking for of followers? And in terms of engagement, how do we get those people to continue to follow us?
Okay, so in terms of followers, by posting consistently, I have noticed also the quality of your pictures and the type of content you're putting out is what's really going to entice someone to follow you. adding the hashtags, it's going to allow people to find you on the Instagram search. So Instagram, for example, even has a feature where you can automatically post the content that you put there. It'll post it also on Facebook, so you can connect it that way as well. In terms of how fast you can grow, it really varies, but I would say if you start posting consistently over time, you're going to start to see maybe like, I don't know, 20 or 30 new followers a week. That's just kind of to give you an example. But
Okay,
it does take time to build.
Okay, and then from all the people that you have, what is your, you probably know your numbers of conversion. What would those be looking like?
Of the people that follow me, for example, on Instagram?
Yeah, who become your clients?
That's a tough one. But I mean, like right now I have almost 18,000 followers on there. Most of them are agents. And every month I get maybe around 2 or 3 referrals.
Oh, okay, that's helpful. That's what I meant. For you on the, yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Okay, great, thanks.
Yeah, I want to say that it's kind of hard to solidify that kind of thing, because we know that it's layer upon layer, and they'll see you here, and then like she said, they see her on YouTube, then they go over to Instagram, and then so it's hard to quantify that, but obviously so many people, whether they're in our business or other businesses, video works and consistency in posting works. Mm-hmm. So over time, you'll be able to see what effect it has on your business.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
This is Thomas. Do you have a team that you work with that you send those leads to, or are you just an independent agent by yourself?
So I am on a team, and the referrals that I do get myself, I work on them myself. Mm-hmm. Yes. And just to kind of give you guys an idea, even though I have the following that I have, because I can pull up the analytics and see all the insights on Instagram. But just so you get an idea, even though I have a lot, I'm seeing here in the past week, I have gained 60 followers, but 116 people have unfollowed me. So even though you're getting followers, there's still people that sometimes I've seen it, depending on what I post, it's like they start unfollowing me. If it's something where I just sold a house or something like that, there are those that are haters and like, oh, unfollow. I don't like that. Yeah,
and that's a really good point. Because some people are like, well, every time I think I'm getting ahead, then people unfollow me. Instagram followers are fickle. Mm-hmm. That's my experience. So she got 62 and then lost 114 or whatever. That's, you know.
Yeah. So from May 26th to June 2nd, 176 people followed me and 116 unfollowed me. So overall, I just gained 60. And that's how it is every single month from what I have noticed. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And ladies, do you see how she is tracking it? But what I want you to notice is that she's tracking it, but she's not letting whatever the results are deter her, right? When she was doing YouTube, whether she got the results she wanted, you know, she just kept going and she didn't care, and she deleted the negative. Women, we take things so personally. We have to stop. We have to stop, because we could take you out and put in Bertha, and they'd feel the same about her if she did it. It's just, you just happen to be there in their line of fire.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the way that I see it when it comes to posting, whether people like it or not like it, or they follow me or they don't, my whole goal is for people to see my face. And even if they don't like me, they know that I'm a real estate agent.
Yeah.
So even though we want to get a following, you will have those people that will be checking you out everywhere, but they're not going to follow you, or they're not going to like any of your posts, but they know who you are. And if I don't post any content, my way of thinking is like, if I'm not putting myself out there, a consumer is going to see somebody else, and I want to get that business before they go to someone else that's not going to get the job done. So
Right.
that's the whole goal. Even when we send out newsletters, I mean, the open rate may not be high, but it doesn't matter because they're seeing my team and my company every single email. So when they have a need, they're like, oh yeah, Loida, she's the real estate girl.
Exactly. And listen, ladies, what Loida did was different. And she did it many years ago. When did you hop on YouTube?
2015.
Okay. So that was 5 years ago. And instead of going, sharing value with people that may want to move into LA County, Orange County, whatever, she said, I'm going to share and help people that are thinking about being an agent so they can see how hard it is. And look what she's turned into. I mean, you've won, you're a top agent. You've won lots of awards. You've gotten notoriety. And it's because you had guts enough to do something that nobody really before you had done. Like you said, you were the only woman, right? There were a lot of men doing it perhaps, but you were the only woman. So ladies, I want you to get that. The way that she lets things roll off her back. Barb.
Yeah, I have actually a note. I'll read it because I have trouble with that too for my Facebook page. And I wrote myself a note on my board. It said, it is okay to have haters. You need them to find your followers. Right. And I need to remind myself that all the time because, it's hard sometimes, but I'm getting used to it now.
Good. Thanks for sharing that, Barb.
Yeah. I've always read also, if you don't have haters, then it's like you're not doing something right, because the moment that you start to gain success, or it's kind of like a roller coaster. If you're doing well, there's going to be haters.
Yeah.
Because they don't like what you're doing, or they're like, why is she being successful? Like, I don't like seeing that. Like, she doesn't deserve that. But yeah, you deserve it. You put in the hard work and you stay consistent. And if you don't let them affect you, then that's going to take you to the next level. It's kind of like a test. Like, okay, all this negativity is being thrown at me. It's testing me to see if I'm going to give in and like curl up in a ball and stop posting. But no, on the contrary, I'm just going to post more to get in their face so they know that's not affecting me.
Yes. Loida, that's awesome. I love it. How about anybody else?
I do have a question though. So Loida, do you do Facebook pages as well? Do you have a Facebook page?
Yeah, I have a Facebook page. Mm-hmm.
So I have a question. I had the old school like community page. And I use a program called Meet Edgar, and I do all my content for the entire month, and then it posts like 6 times a day. I'm thinking that's not really necessary anymore. Is that correct? Or can you elaborate on that at all?
6 times a day? What kind of content does it post?
So I have a calendar, and I do home tips, remodeling, local content. I do some local stuff with activities, and then I do separate for like promoting restaurants and things like that. And those are the two, the local content and the local photos is what really gets the most activity. I have a little less than 4,000 followers, and I do have loyalty there, but I can't say I converted someone to a buyer on there or a seller. Yeah. So I'm kind of switching gears to a more real estate page instead of the community page. And I guess I'm trying to figure out how many times I need to post.
Okay. I think 6 might be a little too much.
Okay.
But that community page, since you already have over 4,000 people, I would just start using that base to brand yourself. What I have seen gets a lot of engagement as well as video on these pages. So yeah. I think if you start going live, and even I know you mentioned like restaurants and things like that, if you talk about a restaurant or even go to that restaurant and do a little short interview with the owner that you like or something, people are going to be able to relate to that. And then that's how you're going to start to brand yourself like, hey, I'm a real estate agent here in my favorite restaurant with Bob. Can you share with us how long you've been here? And it could be a very short video, but video gets a lot of engagement in Facebook, I've seen.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Is anybody here loving their social media, or does everybody here want to grow their social media? Which one? If you want to grow it, wave your hand. Okay. So every month, you know, there's already 2 months in, May and June, Loida has uploaded her video with an accompanying checklist or workbook or whatever. And you can listen to it because we have it on the, you know, in the back end of the community as an audio. If you want to listen to it, you can watch it as a video. And then we got it out in writing so that you can actually read it as well. And if you have questions for Loida outside of this, you can tag her in the She's Unstoppable Now community. And of course, follow her. She's awesome.
Yeah, definitely post any questions if you think of anything in the group, and I'll make sure to go in there and respond it or reach out to you directly through a video or whatever it is, as long as it's going to help you guys.
Thank you so much. Susan raised her hand. Susan.
Oh, no, I was just raising my hand because you asked if I wanted to.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
So
All
I
right.
just-
Well, thank you, Loida. Let's give Loida a round of applause. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And we'll see you guys again real soon. Have a
Yes.
great rest of your day. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.